All right, baby, here we go. Real estate different states, episode 14. We still have Steven on here. We got a lot more to talk about. He just barely got into his real estate career. I want to hear more about his investing and, I don't even know this, I don't think yet, but him and his wife started up a whole brokerage. And last time I checked, I think they have like 100 realtors or something under them. So that's pretty
Whoa,
crazy.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't.
I know.
Whoa,
Chuck.
dang it!
So let's dig into it.
I did not even know that, Steven. Man, he already answered my second question. But let's rewind. Let's rewind because
Yeah, what's the first question?
so. I mean, I don't know. So let's paint the picture real quick for people who are jumping in. Didn't see the last episode. Maybe they're popping in right now. Steven was a teacher you taught geography, right, Steven? Is that right, or was I wrong with it?
I taught history.
History, right.
Yes, sir.
But you were a baseball coach, also a football coach, 6A at Barbers Hill, right?
And then CE King.
Yeah.
And C King. So, and for our viewers who don't know those schools, Barbers Hill is a big time school, like coaching there, pretty big deal. Like, not your average coach coaches at Barbers Hill in Texas. Just saying. But guy left and now is a real estate brokerage owner or co-owner, shall I say, and a mortgage broker, correct? Did I say it all
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
So take us back to you left teaching, coaching. Your wife was a realtor. So take us back to what made you guys, what was your mindset? How did you think about this, opening up your own real estate brokerage?
Bring us back to the year as well.
Well, in 2014, my wife switched from Coldwell Banker to Keller Williams, and a lot of the people that were people in the area that the regional managers wanted her to start an office in Baytown. Well, they asked her to start the office, and she came to me, it's like, "Hey, I want to start this office. Let's do this." And she'd be much better to speak on this than I would. I'm not even going to lie on this. But I'm like, okay, what's this going to entail? How are we going to pull this off? And you had to have a certain amount of money to start it. And so we saved up. And, after about 5 or 6 months, like I said, she was doing better than I was at that point. We drained basically every dollar we had out of anything we had to start the office, because you had to have a certain amount of residuals in your account to make sure that you could carry the office for a certain amount. And, she's the ultimate optimist. And I was like, "Hey, this is your dream, yeah, I'm down for it. Let's see what happens." And a lot of it in the beginning was not paying for contractors to put stuff together. In the beginning, it was me and her putting stuff together, and it was that sort of thing. And she did a lot more than I did, I'll be honest with you, because I was still coaching at the time. But
Right.
it
So
was,
you guys opened this while you opened the brokerage while you were still teaching.
yes, I was still coaching.
Okay.
By the time it officially opened, I was out. But for the first 6 months of getting into it, it was just us. And I think we had about 25 agents in the very beginning.
That many? That's a lot.
Yeah, in the very beginning was. I mean, we just
To
said,
open up with 25. I mean,
yeah, we rented the space, and there were salaries to be paid. I mean, there still are, but we just had to figure out how to get those salaries paid, and do the best we could until things opened up. And it just happened to be, like I was saying to you guys, a lot of it was just, right place, right time. This whole area was being, and, most of the agents that were in this area had been doing it forever. And I think it just happened to fall right into a new younger youth or whatever, not that that matters, but whatever.
Yeah.
Thing.
Well, dude, so one thing you mentioned right off the bat was whenever you first opened it, you guys had to like basically go all in on this. You had like your bank account was drained, right, to build the dream.
100%.
And I can relate to that too because I remember, shoot, this was one of the first houses I flipped. This was probably 3 years ago now. And I remember like I saw this house and I was like, I have to buy it no matter what. And I was like, I'm gonna write this offer. And I wrote it and got accepted. And I bought the house, but I remember I had like less than $10,000 in my bank account after I bought the house. I was like, holy crap. What
Holy
did I
shit.
make?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? Right? And I had to wait, and I was gonna refinance it to like get the money to flip it, but I had to wait 30 days. So I had to go a whole month with like I still had to pay all my bills, and I'm like, I don't have any money. Like, what? Like, I'm so stupid. Why did I do this? But that ended up being one of my best deals, right? And then helped me propel to where I am. But like, I feel like there's something to be said, like, especially at first, you have to be willing to put your cards on the table. You have to go all in. If you're not willing to do that, then it's just a thing you're making up in your mind. You think you want it, but you don't. If you're not willing to do it, you don't, that doesn't mean you have to do it. Some things happen. Your cards aren't on the table. You're not all in, like your money. But like, if you're not willing to do it, then you don't want it. If you say, nope, not doing it, then it's because you don't want it bad enough, period. You know?
Well, I totally agree in this. Um, I don't mean to bring my dad in, but he did start his own office as well. But he had an employee named Barbara Stein, and she was the sweetest lady, and I still love her to death. But when my dad started, it was just him and Barbara, the hygienist. And when my dad started, he couldn't pay Barbara sometimes for weeks or two, and my dad didn't make any money. And he couldn't pay Barbara for a couple weeks sometime, and she was okay with it. She's like, "Okay, I believe in you. I believe in you." She was a great lady. She is a great lady. Um, but yeah, my dad didn't get paid for the first sh- maybe year or two because he was just trying to pay Barbara to get his business started. And even her, she was okay with just waiting a couple weeks to get paid. When you start up a business, that's just how it is. So, I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying, and we've all dealt with it. And
Yeah.
that's just some stuff you have to deal with. I mean, myself as well. I did get into mortgages in a really, really cool time. I got in actually when Ike hit, which was actually a crazy time because I learned a lot of stuff that you don't normally learn in mortgages, like how to deal with insurance companies and flooding and all that. But when I joined Guarantee Mortgage, and we've gone over this, but I mean, that was when rates were in the twos and threes, and it was just a big refi boom. I got really, really lucky in that aspect. And that was kind of planned out. If the refi boom didn't happen, I don't know if I would have left the credit union, to be honest. But I had a lot of loyal customers or loyal people to me. And I knew a lot of people in Baytown just living here. And that really, really helped me transition. As y'all know, and I've talked about this before, but it really helped me transition the refi boom because I could call a lot of my friends and a lot of my parents' friends and refinance them into a much lower rate, which really, really helped me get into this industry. Not the industry, but being self-employed in this industry, leaving the credit union and coming over to working for myself. So,
Yeah, absolutely, Blake. I have a lot of respect for your dad for sure. And I mean, I just remember stories. We're not gonna make this podcast. This will be the last thing. But I remember your dad just telling me like he's always like talking. He's like, "Remember we used to eat fish sticks, Gina? Remember?"
you're going to talk about the fish sticks and
I'm
macaroni?
like, but I'm just like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. That's a
Are you going
raising
to talk about the fish sticks
the
and macaroni?
entrepreneur, dude. But look where he is, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's all like I don't know. I'm all about the entrepreneur story. I'm all about
No, I love that because
people
I still hear that
and
today.
hearing their story coming from nothing to being to where they're at because, like, I don't know, I just like makes me. I'm like, I get excited. Like,
Maybe I'll get Dean on the podcast, man, because he was, you know this. Well, my dad was in dental school. My mom had 2 jobs. Seriously, is this true?
I'm
I
like,
mean,
I know, but this
I
hey,
know,
it ain't your dad's podcast.
I know. I
Maybe
just said
one
I'll
day.
have him on one day.
We maybe one day we gotta get bigger.
How much y'all know about the old Swan Man? The Swan Man was badass. The old chicken cordon frozen blue.
Wait, who is that? Dean?
No, Swan, bro, Swan.
Swan Man.
Yeah, don't you?
So, like, hey, I got 30 chicken cordon blues. I'll sling it your way for $14. I'm like, I'm in.
A salesman, dude, a meat salesman.
Oh my gosh!
All right,
All right,
Steve.
let's get back on topic.
I know. I want to hit Steven up with something else. So I know what you do. Obviously, we hang out all the
Yeah.
time. We work together, actually. But do you do anything else in real estate besides mortgages?
Yeah, me and my wife, we own 2 rental properties, which is actually 4 units.
Are they both duplexes?
I know one of them is a house, and then another one is a house with a garage apartment upstairs, downstairs. And we've owned those now for probably 6 years, I guess.
Do you have property managers, or how do you do it?
No, we do it all ourselves.
Okay.
I mean,
Gross.
it's one of those things that after years you got to put work into it, and you got to do your thing, and you got to rent out for the right amount of money to make the money that you need to do the repairs and stuff like that, because stuff's going to come up. I mean, renters aren't homeowners, and they'll never treat your property like that. That's just the way it goes. As long as you have a backup plan on how to get it fixed, then you're fine. I mean, it can be very good, as in having mailbox money and stuff like that. But at times you have to go in and do some things that you didn't want to do, or some of the things you needed to do before the guys moved out, but you were just going to let them live there until they asked you to, you know.
Yes. Are you a slumlord?
No. But there was a couple of the garage apartments. We could have done something a long time ago. I was just nervous because I mean, the guys that lived there looked like Buffalo Bill and Buffalo Bob. I was afraid that they were going to ask me to put the lotion on the skin. So I was like, I ain't sticking over there very long. I wouldn't consider it slumlord, but it was definitely, we were providing a service, and they were paying for that service. And then when they moved out, we fixed it up.
Steven, I got a real question for you.
All right, come on.
Have you ever thought about changing careers to be a stand-up comedian?
I mean, not really.
Because you crack me up.
No, and you have the look of like you could be.
I think you're in the wrong industry.
I'm only funny when I'm comfortable. And I am right now. So I get home, my wife will ask me, "Did you pack the kids lunch?" I'm like,
She'll be like, "How was the podcast?" It was good. It was good.
well, maybe, I don't know.
All right, so I got real question going. Let's get back because this is getting
Already.
So you started with you said 20. How many agents you start with? You said 20 what? 20 something, 25, right?
Yeah, we started with 25 agents.
Okay.
So it was cool. Like, it was back then, it was
That
cool.
sounds cool.
Beginning.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big brokerage.
Right.
Brokerages here who don't have 25 agents and they've been
Right.
open for, 5 years. So,
Well,
I mean,
and it stayed fun. It was a family atmosphere. Like, I knew most of these people from the community. I knew them. They were like my friends. I mean, they were,
yeah.
they I worked with them at school. I knew their children. I coached some of their kids and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So
And
brokerage,
for the most part, it's
yeah.
been great. And then, tough times make sweet people. And that's what we've seen a little bit lately. And I think that, you know, uh, it's just one of those businesses. You do real estate. You both got, loyalty is not something that always fits.
Well, I have my real
So,
estate license, but I do not do traditional.
yeah, but you force
Like,
house, right?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't have the heart, honestly, to deal with the people, traditional buyers and sellers. I just can't do it, and it's like some people have the heart to do that, and that's great for them, but I just don't have it. But like, your traditional real estate agent, that is their passion. That's what they do. But it's a tough business.
It's very tough to do,
It's
for sure.
super tough, and everybody, they watch Selling Sunset and all these TV shows and think they're gonna go do this stuff and make $1 million a year, and it just ain't like you know?
No,
So, like,
definitely not like
how
that.
how did you guys grow your company or your brokerage to, like, attract agents to come over to you? Like, what'd you guys do? 'Cause it's competitive, It's super competitive.
I mean, I think that we just, I've always told my wife, and I've always just said, let's just be us. Let's just do our thing where we don't lie. We don't do, we have this whole high ground. And I feel like falling on more high ground is very important.
Yeah.
But we'll just be us. And if they want to be there, they will. And if they don't, they won't. And, you
Yeah.
know, for a while that attracted people and, it still does, but, years change, market changes. You lose some people, you gain some people, you
Yeah.
develop new friendships. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that, on a weekend, I've had a beer with the guy that either Julia sold the house or I've done their loan or this and that. It's like, when
Yeah.
I get to meet you, I want to know your kids, your family, this and that. I think that's how I've been able to stay that way for a while. So
Yeah.
market this year made it a little tougher, but hey, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I respect that a lot. I mean, I feel like you just have to be like a good steward of what you have, your brokerage, and realize people are going to flow in. They're going to be there for a while. They're going to nurture and grow or whatever. If they stay, they stay. And then whenever they're ready, they leave. But then right behind them is new people, right? So you're just like, they don't have to. I mean, yes, every brokerage wants to keep an agent forever, right? And have like these super producers, but I feel like what your mindset is like spot on. Like, I'm just gonna be me. They're gonna flow in. If they stay, they stay, and they flow out. Like, we're just gonna do our thing. And I respect that a lot. I think that's awesome.
Well, I see the agents that have left, and I see agents coming in, and I treat them all the same. Like if I see
Yeah.
them in HEB, I'm still going to give them a hug. Hope you're doing well. I always cheer on other people's success. I never say anything bad, at least
Yeah.
out in public, guys. I made some say something up or whatever.
There you go.
Whatever. It's just one of those things. Like it's the only way that you can sanely do it.
Yeah.
Because if not, you'd go crazy.
No, yeah. At the end of the day, it's a business for you.
Yes.
I mean, it's you care about
It's a
your people.
relationship and it's business.
But it's also a business. You didn't
Yeah.
you didn't start it for no reason,
Right.
So you started with 25 agents. How many agents do you have now? We said earlier, I don't know if Blake was accurate though.
That would be a better question from my wife. I would say we had like
You don't have to be
95
s
right
you don't
now.
have to
We
be
topped out at
explaining.
125 probably.
Dang, that's a
This year's
lot,
been,
dude.
last couple of years been tough couple of years, but I would say when you're at a max, we're at 125. I would say right now somewhere about 95. That's what I would say.
Dang, man, you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You make me want to start a brokerage.
No,
I
Kyle, they do a
I
good
can get my
job.
broker's license. I've been licensed long enough.
Yeah. So, Steven, I'm more curious. Have you ever done like any flips or anything else outside of rentals, or what do you do in real estate?
Oh no, since 2020, since COVID, um, me and a friend of mine has done 6 flips, but I'm not going to take credit for him because he's the one that set them all up. He's the one that had the contractors. If you're not going to edit this out, his name's Gilbert Mina. He can help out a lot in the local Mont Bellevue areas as far as getting work done.
You want to give a shout out to him?
I just did.
I mean, like a big shout out.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Steven, were you more of like the money partner, or like?
I was more the money partner in certain cases. I mean, sometimes we collaborated. Sometimes I would buy the house. Sometimes it was just different every single time. It just
Hey, well, I'll say this: like everybody in your area is looking for you. That's investing in real estate. They are looking for you. I promise. They just can't find you. They want you to be the money partner.
well,
I'm just coming at it from a standpoint. When I was first flipping, I didn't have the money. I was like, I got the deal. Who has the money, and having no idea where to find it.
Yeah, Steven, I don't know if you've listened to any of our podcasts, but Kyle's paying 9% interest.
Well, this guy was a friend of mine since 6th grade, so I had full trust in him, and so that was the biggest thing is developing trust between people.
Yeah,
and once I always had trust with him, and so once we had that, then we could figure it out. We could do what we needed to do, but I trusted him, so I wouldn't do it just for anybody scenario. I mean, I've heard of so many bad scenarios, but all ours. I mean, in the very worst case scenario, we made basically $5,000 a piece, and that was about the worst case scenario. And so that's the way it works in the area.
That's good to know. It's a pretty cool story. You got anything else?
No, I saw you right now. So I was waiting for you to ask something. I don't know.
Well, I wrote down a question for off air.
Off air, okay. Well, I enjoyed it. Was this it?
I think that's it. Steven, man, it was a pleasure getting to know you, man. Like, you're an inspiration. I love your story. I have so much respect for people going in the teacher industry, coaches. I think about my coaches who coached me because I was a big baseball player growing up. So Coach Hillen was a big inspiration to me. I didn't play football, but sounds like you were up there with him. And man, I just appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and talk to our viewers. And it's just been a huge pleasure. So thank you so much.
Well, I've enjoyed it and I appreciate it, and I thank y'all for having me on. So
It was fun, man.
So
It really was fun.
Yeah,
This is a good job, Kyle. We should just become full-time podcasters, bro. This is great.
Oh, we need to get some sponsors.
hey, if y'all want to talk
let's do a plug.
politics
Hey,
or anything crazy, I'm all in.
Oh, you want to do politics next episode? Let's do
I'll
politics.
roll through like middle-aged
hey,
going crazy.
let's start another
all of it.
politics podcast. Let's
As
do
long as
two: real estate different
psychological.
states and a politics one.
Or we could just do, let's go politics right now.
And just edit it. I mean, we can edit whatever. That software you got's cool because you can literally, it's gonna know what we're saying. You just delete it. It's just gone.